Listen, I don't want to waste this because I know little work went into it. First of all, Scrunch, you need to get on Twitter more and you need to get on Instagram more. I sent that information to my producer. He said, F that, he ain't been on social media since 2017.
Yeah, I shed,
so
what?
Hold on, for real?
Yeah, I shed a lot of my social media down, you know what I mean? Because, I shed all of it down, actually. You know what I mean?
Because you don't want them two cops scrolling through. He said, there you go, we've been looking for you since 2017.
367 weeks ago.
That's what it said?
Yeah. I didn't even know they go back that far.
I might open it back up, man. I had
it's understandable.
Everybody,
understand.
Everybody, open up your social, do your social.
And listen, real quick, describe your comedy for everybody. I encourage y'all.
Well, let me just say
check
this.
out
If you believe, everybody believe in the bag. So everybody chase the accolades, the titles. But if you chasing the accolades, the titles, the fame, I'm not that guy. But if you chasing who the best at what they do, I'm that guy. You know what I mean? I sell out my shows with just when people know I'm coming because that's what I do. I'm the best at what I do. Meaning like, in boxing, you can say you the best. You know what I mean? But in comedy, it hurts people and offend people. They don't like, it's kind of like, because you programmed to believe what you want to believe. If I tell you the raw truth, I'm messing up your programming. But in reality, when it comes to this stand-up comedy, just Google me. I'm the best at what I do. You know what I mean? It's an art. It took me 15, 20 years to master the art. You know what I mean? And the deeper your pain, the more you could elevate the gift. You know what I mean? So people who ain't been through enough might not want to see my comedy. My comedy is a different level. But it's kind of crazy because even though you think raw, but it's not like when I'm telling a bunch of sex jokes. I don't tell sex jokes. I don't really do a lot of cussing. I don't do a lot of bagging. Man, I just tell what I've been through and I make it funny. You know what I'm saying? So if you know somebody that you got to come see me, because if you can't see me, you got to defend the people you know. You know what I mean? But in reality, when it comes to this comedy, you looking at the best at what I do. You know what I'm saying? Period. And that's not being arrogant. That's just being honest. You know what I mean? 25 years. People who see me, they'll tell you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it is what it is.
And you're supposed to feel like that. Why would I want to see you if you don't feel like you're the best?
And I don't even feel like that. It's just facts. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. It's just facts. You know what I mean? I go up dead last at every comedy show for the last 17 years.
Hey, that says something. That says something.
And I go up so late, my nickname is Tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So, and at the end of the day, I don't like to take over. So when I walk into the room and I grab that mic, I got to go to work. Mm-hmm. No, you're never going to leave, remember my jokes. You're going to leave, remember seeing my heart. You know what I mean? What Shawn is to boxing is what I am to comedy.
Don't compare us.
So what, you around the LA scene, New York, or you everywhere?
Everywhere. I'm everywhere. Yeah, I go everywhere.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I love New York. And when you talk about comedy, you got to talk about New York because that's the mecca of comedy. And all the great ones, if you can't make people laugh in New York, you can't go nowhere. And then you got the raw cities like Chicago, Atlanta is hot, Philly. You got to, this comedy, everybody think they funny until you put a mic in their hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want to turn this into a comedy show, but I got to ask, how were you the first time you did New York?
Man, the first time I did New York, I went up during the East Coast, West Coast beef, right? Uh-huh. And because I was super thugged out. I mean, I was on my little crib shit. I had a little gangster shit.
Where are you from, the West or East?
Yeah, I'm from Long Beach, right? Okay. So I'm getting ready to go to the stage, and I tell Rudy Rush, man, do not tell them I'm from Cali because they was beefing, right? And to say the least, he said my name. I'm the first comedian that ever got booed and never went on stage.
Oh.
They
what did he say from California?
They even say my name. He said, man, y'all know from the West Coast. And boo. But then I came back the second show. He said it right.
The only one that get booed and didn't go on stage.
Man, they called, but and it's like, then he said the second time, the second show, I had a 10 o'clock show, and then he said, gave me from around the way, and then he let me do my thing, and New York gave me love, and they've been giving me love ever since. New York is really hard too. When I first hit New York, I went to this little club called BBQ's, a little barbecue stand.
I heard about BBQ.
It's raw.
It's still raw.
Yeah, and then they was born a dude in a wheelchair. Right? I said, what? You know, but that's how they is.
I went to a comedy cellar in New York and I seen a dude get eaten up on stage.
Yeah, they do.
Hey, they broke my man down. He got out of character. I said, this ain't for you, bro.
Yeah, man.
This ain't for you.
It ain't easy, you know what I mean? So a lot of times, you know, it started off hard, you know what I mean? Because I remember the first time I got on stage as a comedian, I was raw. So in my mind, I told my mama, everybody, I'm finna do comedy, flew my grandmama out. I'm thinking it's easy. And I knew it was gonna be a bad night because, you know, my mama let me wear my daddy jacket, my sister, my grandmama made me a shirt. I went up there looking like everybody.
Dre was in the audience?
Man, Dre was there. Man, do you know, by the time they called me to go to the stage, as soon as they called my name, it was like walking to death row. I walked down there, man, I was so scared, I couldn't think of nothing, right? Excuse my language, my grandmama, excuse my language. This heifer,
yeah.
Oh, you gonna call her B?
Yeah, I ain't gonna call her that. My grandmama, right? All I heard her say is like, "You brought me all the way out here for this shit."
Oh,
my whole family had go. My brother, I told you he wasn't funny. You ain't ride home with me. You know, I got echoed by the whole family. So it's like, you know, it's a art. So for all comedians, anybody that grab that mic, because everybody be funny in front of the camera, and but when you grab that mic, it's an art. So for every comedian that's doing comedy, you better give them respect because at the end of the day, that's the hardest profession in entertainment is stand-up comedy.
Yeah, it looks like a beast. Something I did not want to attack. And I see people on social media think they can do it.
You wouldn't
a
do
few of them, nah, people have asked me, nah. I'll stay away from
He said, nah.
Nah. I seen people on social media try to do it.
I thought you had thick skin.
They got some social media stars that knocked it down. Though, like DC Young Fly flipped it.
But let's talk about the
Country Wayne flipped it.
The 90% that didn't.
Yeah, well, shoot, that's what I'm saying. You know, I don't like to talk people losses. I like to talk about their wins. So the ones that really won, you know what I mean? Like, I love what DC did. He not only flipped it, but he one of the best at it.
Yeah.
You know, Country Wayne is the richest at it.
They running it up.
He's super good. You know what I mean? They got some great social media stars that turn comics that flip the game. You know what I mean? That be giving me a lot of work. So yeah, so it could be done.